Hey guys, happy Wednesday. I hope everyone is having a great day. Monica Taylor here. If you guys could do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button for me or the heart button so that I know you guys can hear me okay. It's kind of rainy and dreary here today in Texas. A little chilly. It'd be nicer if it was warmer. But I had to hop on today because I've just been kind of blown away. There is this reoccurring theme, so to speak, that keeps popping up in everything that I've been doing lately, in my devotions, in my personal development, in my business, in my personal life, in my Bible studies at church, about this idea of balance and finding balance in life. I have been guilty, and you may have been the same way, and I'd love to hear it if you have, but how many of us have gone through life and said, I need to find balance, it'd just be great if I could find some balance in my life. Like, I've got so many things going on, we have so many responsibilities as women, whether it be as moms and wives and working women, we just have so many responsibilities that I found myself saying a lot in 2016. I just wish things were more balanced. I wish I could find that balance in my life. And I did a book study back in October, a personal development book called Famous in Heaven and at Home. And it really just kind of opened my eyes to something that you are never going to find balance. Because at the end of the day, that's not possible. If you take a look at our life and the things that are expected of us, balance, the way that we think of it, means that things are perfectly aligned. And we aren't meant to be perfect. Things aren't always going to have the equal weight. You're going to have something that's more important that you're going to need to focus more attention on, and that means your priorities may drop over here. So maybe it's that your priority and your focus needs to be more on your kids, and then that means something suffering in your work life, or you're focusing all on your work life and your home life is sucking. So nothing is ever balanced. And so I've been praying on this topic a lot, and it just keeps coming up. Literally every couple days, I'll read something about just understanding that balance isn't possible, because the idea that society creates of balance, I want you guys to think about it like the old time scales, that you got to put weights on. We used to use in chemistry class to measure out, and you had to put enough weight on this side and enough weight on this side till it was equally balanced. And that's just not how life works. God didn't create us to be perfect, and that gives you this ideal situation. And so the thing that I've learned is that you have to be good at juggling, meaning as women, we have responsibilities that far outnumber others. And, we are the caretakers of the home. We're the nurturers. We have to be there for our husbands. We have, our responsibilities with our job, whatever that job may be, whether that's your job as being the sole provider at home to your kids and your family, or whether that means in the working world. Then you've got, your own personal journey and your walk. And so you have all these things that you're responsible for. So then, today, I go to church, and today is the first women's Bible study of the year, and this morning, and this, I guess, our first semester, the topic or the discussion that we're having is, it's called, I have my notes right here because I had so many things that I wanted to bring to you guys. It's called New Balance, and the same race, but a new plan. And it was this idea of figuring out what God is calling us to do, and realizing that we put emphasis on those things, and that means sometimes the other balls are dropping. And so there was 5 signs that she gave us today in Bible study that kind of, if you feel like there's something out of order, or if you constantly feeling like you're saying, I just need to find more balance, these 5 kind of signs are warning signs that there are some things that could be juggled differently. The first one was that we spend excess time on simple tasks. And she gave the example of, and this is so me, where I am a morning person. I get up in the morning. I'm up at 4 o'clock typically, Sometimes, other times it's 5 o'clock, and that is when I'm the most effective. I get stuff done, I hammer it out from the morning until midday. And then after midday happens, right around this time, things just start to go downhill, and I lose all focus. Some things just as easy as cleaning the kitchen or unloading the dishwasher or doing the laundry take a lot longer than what they normally would. Hold on, we have crying children, y'all. This is life. Come here. Jaden. Jaden. Get him some milk. Or the cookies. Sorry, y'all. Mommy duty calls, and that's obviously number one priority right now. So that was the first thing. The first one is spending excess time on simple tasks. So you got to figure out when you are the most effective during your day. And for me, I know that I'm most effective getting stuff done, whether it's in my business, with the kids, in my house, in the morning time. The second one was a cluttered appearance. So whether that's in your office or in your house, in your closet, in your garage, and you guys have seen my journey over the past several months that I've really started to go on a purging binge where each room of the house I've gone through and just started to simplify, get rid of those things. The third one was low level paranoia. Hold on, y'all. Listen. Nap time just ended. Isn't this just how life goes, y'all? Anyone else feel like that? Like you just feel like you're constantly all over the place? Because that's just how my day goes. And working from home, those that say it's easy with little toddlers, it's not. So thankful I have help and my husband, although they're sleeping right now, and my oldest. But anyway, so then the fourth one is, or the third one is lower level unhealthy thoughts. So you're just mentally and physically exhausted, that you start to think irrational about people or situations. And she gave the example of when our kids are asking for cookies and we flip out in an instant, irrationally for no reason. The fourth one was scheming on personal relationships. So maybe you're spending a lot of time at work, you're spending a lot of time at church or in volunteering or something, and it's taking away from your everyday relationships, your family, your girlfriends, whatever that is. And then the fifth one was a shallow walk with Christ, and meaning you're not as intimate as you were before. It doesn't mean that you're not serving, but it could mean that you're not prioritizing that quiet time, sitting down with him and reading his word. And so I just thought this was ironic because here I was, and I've been going along on my journey, and you guys know I've been very open about my walk with Christ recently and how just the things that he's been laying on my heart, and how he's been, working in my life and what that's looked like for me, and how, rough 2016 was. And then I go this morning and I listen to this message about understanding that and just reaffirming what I've already been saying, that finding balance in life isn't going to happen. And instead, it's figuring out how we can juggle and focus our attention on the things that need to be focused on right then and there, in that moment. And so instead, it's the idea or the redefining what balance means, and it's judging or deciding what is most important using what he's given us. And so, I just really had it on my heart to come to you guys because I know I talk to women all day long in my job who are constantly frazzled and constantly feeling like they're just on the go 24/7. They're mentally and physically exhausted. I've been there myself. You've watched my journey over the past 4 years, but really over the past year, go through the emotional and physical struggle and what that can do to your body and to your mental state, and realizing that perfection isn't going to happen, and society puts so much stressors on us about being perfect and finding balance and, maintaining the status quo and being successful and, the house always clean and the kids always well taken care of and are well manicured and everything is always put in place, and that's just not reality. And it drives me crazy listening to women trying to hold themselves to this almost unreachable standard that we know we're not going to get to. And so I'm here to tell you today, release yourself from that. Whatever stronghold that has been holding on to you about, understanding that you can't slow down, or that you are feeling like this need to be perfect, or, keep up with, not keep up with the Joneses, but keep up with your neighbor or your girlfriends or what they're doing in their lives or what they're doing with their kids, and realizing that you don't have to do that. That if you are doing or using your God-given talents and what He's directing you to do, then that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. I talked a little bit today about how I feel like this idea of stay-at-home moms is like this stigma that has almost become negative in our society as well, and how so many women, are almost afraid to say that they stay at home because they're looked down upon as if they don't do anything. When it very well could be that in this season of life, God's telling you that that's your main priority right now, that your main priority is to be at home with your children. And that's okay. If that's your calling and that's what He's calling you to do, there's nothing wrong with that. And I sometimes feel like I work more at home than I did when I was working in my career. And so I go to bed every single night exhausted. And yes, I run a full-time business, but even when I wasn't doing a business and I was at home, I was still tired, because raising little people is exhausting. And it's a God-given blessing, but it's still exhausting. And that's okay. So, I don't know who is listening today. I don't even know if anyone's watching, but it just was really laying on my heart, just this idea about balance and these pressures that we put on ourselves as women, and realizing that that's not who we're supposed to be. We aren't supposed to have it all figured out. We aren't supposed to have it all balanced. We're supposed to lean on Him for understanding and not our own. And it's so funny because this morning, you guys saw my post, I talked about that, how this morning's devotion was about leaning not on our own understanding, but on His, and let Him guiding our day. And then I go and we're talking about this balance, and she gave the example of how when we have an ear infection, you guys, it's so crazy how these coincide together. We have an ear infection. When you have an ear infection, you know that it throws your equilibrium off. You get kind of wobbly, you get dizzy, and you start sometimes to lean because you're off center and you've got stuff in your ears and it throws you off. And He calls us to not lean on our own understanding. And then how you get, when you have an ear infection, you have fluid in your ears, and that fluid is a substance that takes the shape of whatever form that it's in, and that how it's easily yielding to its external forces. So the things that are outside, that are pressuring you, that are forcing you, that are pressing upon you, how much are those shaping you? How much are you letting all of those outside pressures shaping you? And how much is it that fluid that we need to release and get rid of? And so I just be on the lookout, guys. God has some crazy, crazy things in store, and I can see Him using me as His vessel, and my story and what has gone on in my life and the things that He has brought me through that no one else could have done it other than Him. And I'm just so thankful to be sitting here and you guys to be listening to me, and me to have this platform to reach you and to get the chance to share with you and talk with you just about my walk with Christ and the things that I've learned over the past several months, and how much I've grown as an individual. So I hope that you guys have a blessed Wednesday. I'm sorry about the interruptions, but mom duty calls, and that's just how life goes. And I hope that you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.